Hello everyone. So please, Nigerians are not cowards, and it's important to emphasize this. Yes, it is very well true that Nigeria right now is the poverty capital of the world. We have a very big insecurity crisis. People are being kidnapped left, right, and center. And then we also have a government who is much more interested in IMF and World Bank than the people they are governing. All of this is true. And there is public aggression in the country. Go to the streets, just any random country, any random state in the country, doesn't matter if it is north, east, or west. Go and ask anybody in the street, they tell you that okay, they're not happy with the government. Nobody's happy with the government. That one is true. So which means that there's a public aggression. There's public aggression. Everybody are angry. They cannot survive practically. But this public aggression cannot translate into a public protest. And this is why people don't understand this. So they feel like okay, Nigerians are cowards. No, it doesn't happen anywhere, not even in Europe, not even in Asia. Public aggression has never translated into a protest. A protest is highly coordinated. The people who you are looking at and calling cowards, which are the poor Nigerians who have to queue at the fuel station, most of them don't even go to the fuel station to queue anymore. They have just parked their car. So most of them now don't even touch tomatoes in the market. They can't even touch anything meat. They have to go for crayfish or some other dry fish that are cheap, whatever. Some of them can't even afford anything protein in their meat. So there is probably some of them bread. With bread, you can just be their god. Just give them bread. You are practically their god for that month. So people are definitely suffering. But just because there is this suffering does not mean that these people will be inclined to go to the street and protest. Because it has never happened in any country. Any protest you see happening, be it the Arab Spring, be it the revolution, whatever, a rebellion, is always coordinated. You may not know the details because it's just like France. When France was going through a protest last year or 2 years ago, people were seeing it, there was literally people all over the city. But those things don't happen spontaneously. Behind that protest, there are body of unions, intellectuals who coordinate and even sponsor such a protest. So if a protest is to happen in Nigeria today, it is not going to be the ordinary Nigerians that will lead the protest. It will be the working class and the elite who have the money, the resources, and the intelligence to manage a protest. The poor can never, because every single day is a survivor. Sometimes in the night they just sleep. They don't want to think about what the next morning. Sometimes, so the poor does not even want the country to shut down because if even traffic, even early morning traffic can mean that they are not going to eat that day. Because most of them now depend on maybe taxi or whatever. They have to go out and hustle. And maybe there's a traffic. They can't even navigate. So they cannot even eat that money. So how do you think that these people who cannot feed, who are literally on the brink of survival, how do you think that they're going to say, okay, let us coordinate. They are going to leave survivor and start coordinating how to go and sit in an embassy or block a government convoy or start burning time on the highway for what? They're not going to organize protests. So if you are going to call anybody coward, it is not the poor working class Nigerians. It is the elites. It is the working class people who are educated, who can write manifestos, who can plan, coordinate. These are the people who you should hold responsible and call them cowards. So you say the working class Nigerians are cowards. You say the elites Nigerians are cowards. Not the ordinary Nigerians. They are not cowards. They are literally squeezing water from stone. They are literally doing everything possible to survive this economy. And they are trying their best. They are fighting really hard. They go out to vote. But the working class and the elite do not even defend their vote. Yes, you want them to come and vote. They come and vote. They vote for the right leader. And then the next thing, the people, the opposition parties rig the election for them. But these poor people, they cannot coordinate how to defend their vote. It is the working class and the elite. But these people, this is working class and the elite, what are they doing? They are in estates, sitting in air-conditioned rooms and typing on their phone Nigerians are coward because they expect Nigerians to organize a very sophisticated protest. A protest is it's not a simple thing. Nowhere, there is no way you are going to, it takes a genius. It's like planning a war. You have to coordinate, map out all the exits. You have to talk about logistics. You have to talk about communication channels. You have to talk about the money, the resources alone is not even a small amount. So it's not Nigerians, it's not the ordinary poor. No matter, so it doesn't matter. It's not about awareness. Awareness. If you like create awareness for Nigerians for 90 next 100 years, nobody will protest. They will not protest because they know if their awareness are creating, they know those things. They know that the country is bad. So you're not going to do anything new. They know what you're going to do is how do you, who is educated, who has money, and who has some level of power, how do you capture your country from these people who have stolen everything? That is what you should be asking yourself, not to look at poor Nigerians who are trying to survive and call them cowards. They are not cowards. These people are not cowards. So it's important to emphasize this. Thank you very much.